Now, the idea that the project leader has decided to choose today is creating a local online TV station. Now, this was one of the nuttier ideas, I must be honest, but the reality is that many people in the group thought it was a great idea, and they thought that it helped to achieve the aim of creating awareness about local community projects, but also increasing the opportunity for groups to work together. So how on earth do you test this? Because you think that a TV station, that's going to be expensive, but the reality is online it's nice and easy. And so we had the conversation about how do we test this really quickly and cheaply and easily. So we know when we did our community assets that we had a look and there's a bunch of really engaged young people, okay? Now these young people are more than happy to shoot video, they've all got really good phones, and so we've asked for them to bring their phones down, okay? So we've organised for them to come together tomorrow to bring their phones down. Now what's going to happen is they're going to go down to the local bowls club. Now we've had a chat with Doris from the local bowls club, and she's quite excited to have the young people come and visit. Now what we're doing is we're actually going to trial the idea of creating a bit of a short clip talking about the bowls club and what the bowls club does. Now Doris is a bit excited because the idea of having young people at the bowls club, that sounds quite interesting, but the young people are kind of going there to document that and to tell that story. So when they come together, the young people have been talking about, I sound like an old person talking about young people, but young people have been talking about the idea of shooting some really cool footage, and one said, oh, I've got this new drone, do you mind if I bring that? And we said, yeah, no worries, bring that. And so they've all come together with their cameras, they've got their drone. Another found out that her grandma's going to be there, and so they talked about, okay, well maybe we should get some interviews. And so they've arranged to chat with grandma. And basically they've headed down there. The Bowls Club have organised a bit of a morning tea, so they've turned up at morning tea and they've arranged to have a chat with a couple of people. So what they're doing is they're creating these kind of short interview clips to find out what it's like to be involved in the Bowls Club. The young guy with the drone has got some footage of people playing bowls, all of that kind of thing. And so they've actually had a really good day there. The young people have gotten an idea of what the Bowls Club does. The Bowls members are quite excited about seeing this footage and also have quite enjoyed being asked lots of questions. And so after that, what we've gotten them to do is to come back to the neighbourhood house and basically to put together a bit of a 5-minute clip. So they've trolled through all of their footage, they've gotten their clip together, and they've started to think about, okay, what are the things that we want to do? Now one of them's made the suggestion that perhaps there's some really good footage that doesn't actually have audio, and so perhaps we can come up with a bit of a script describing the things that we've found. So we're not just using sound grabs from our time there, but we're also doing that. And so again, thinking of the assets that we've established, we know that there are some people around that are interested in writing and acting, and so they've actually worked hard to create a quick script to run behind some of the video content. So working together, they've created this kind of 5-minute video that will act as their test piece for testing this idea of I guess a community TV station. So now what they're doing is they've got to take this idea and test it within the community to get a sense of whether people are interested in watching it, whether they get anything out of making it, all of that kind of thing. And so in order to do that, there's been interest from the Bowls Club in showing it there. Obviously they've put it online. They've thought, yep, let's get it online and share it with family and friends. And they've said, okay, well, let's set Friday as our day. Now they've had a chat, there's lots of community buy-in, the pub are happy to play it for an hour or two on a loop, the supermarket are happy to play it, and not only that, but they've created a bit of a survey, a bit of a feedback tool. Now remembering that when we're coming up with ideas, what we're trying to determine is A, whether it will work, and B, how can we make it better? And so they've crafted a series of questions about whether they enjoyed it, whether they learnt new things, what suggestions they might have, all of that kind of thing. So at the end of the day, what they end up with is a whole bunch of questionnaire information and also people's feedback. And even on the video online, they've actually created a couple of questions under the YouTube clip so that people can provide feedback and ideas. Now, when you're looking at a project like this, what you want to know is that there's enough enthusiasm in the community to make the project happen in the first place, that there's rich reward associated with creating it. Now, the fact that you could get young people to create the video, the fact that you could get the Bowls Club involved and that it would market them, everybody has a vested interest. It makes it a lot easier. So at that level, it's successful before it even kind of hits the community. Now, if no one watches it, that becomes depressing after a while. So the fact that they've gotten lots of people watching it, the fact that people are making comments, suggests that this might work. Now, one of the really nice things about using social media and using online tools is that you collect information about how you can make it better. Okay? And so that information feeds back in. So then at the end of that process, the first thing you do is celebrate, regardless of whether it was a failure or a success. Okay, you celebrate what you learnt, you celebrate the funny moment where Jack was caught in a conversation with old Bill and Bill wouldn't shut up and he had to be dragged away. You celebrate that kind of the things that were going on. But then you have a conversation about whether you think, based on what you've seen in that trial, whether it's viable to do it. Okay? And that discussion dictates whether you continue on and you go, yep, let's do this on a regular basis. Let's amp this up and do it on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. Now, having tried it, not only gives you some information about how you can make it better, but also gives you an indication as to whether it's going to work, which is the most important thing. So that's example number 1. Now, I'm sure that the story that you come up with will be much better when you actually trial it. I'm making this up. So listen to the next one. I hope you have lots of ideas and I look forward to hearing what you come up with. Bye.